What is up? This is the Jersey Shorts podcast, episode 12, season 2, actually. My name is Rain. Welcome back. And here with me is the ever present Juan and the return of Epic.
Yes.
What is up, guys? How are you?
I'm doing great. I missed you guys. Like what I always say, and I'm sorry if I'm always absent. I
Yeah.
just wanna apologize to
He's
the viewers
busy.
and to both of you. Yeah, I've been busy, man. October was really crazy for me, but that's that. So let's get to the podcast, boys.
Let's go.
Yeah. This week, episode 11, we recorded that prior to the start of the season, like a day before the season started. Now 2 weeks has passed, and the season has, you know, kind of like satisfying the fans with the return. Of course, the stars are performing to their best, and some are disappointing. Um, so let's kick things off with the biggest news that happened the past 2 weeks, which is James Harden. The James Harden saga is finally over in Philadelphia. Finally over.
Finally,
He can stop.
finally.
He can stop being a crybaby,
Yeah.
and possibly play for the Clippers. They traded him. So if I'm mistaken, it was like a multiplayer deal from the Clippers, and then the Sixers gave up Harden and PJ Tucker, right?
And someone, Petrosev.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know who he is. So
Some dude.
I wish him
Yeah.
luck. Anyway, so the trade. The question lies: what does this mean for the Clippers? Does this trade make them into contenders, or um, are they a bust team? Epic, since you're back, share your thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna just be blunt about this. I think it's gonna be a bust. Why? Cause like, come on,
He's a
man.
Lakers fan.
PG Kawhi, they've claimed that they're the better or the best LA team in the NBA. They have been claiming it. They never backed it up. They never won a championship. James Harden, yeah, sure, he's in the team, but whichever team Harden played for, they were never legitimate contenders. Maybe the Sixers, but they also never made it to the finals anyway. So same with Westbrook. Westbrook has never he's one of the all-time greats in the modern era, but never backed it up. So if we're gonna do the math, I think they're gonna be a bust. That's how I see things.
Yeah. I do understand your point. There's like a ton of aspects. As I was saying, a lot of aspects or areas in the game can affect the Clippers
Mm-hmm.
after the trade. Of course, you got injuries, which Harden, Westbrook, especially Paul
All
George
all
and
four.
Kawhi.
Kawhi Leonard, yeah,
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard. They're not prone to like getting injured, right?
yeah, yeah.
So there's a lot at stake. Juan, what's your take on this?
Well, I think they're championship contenders, but they do have bust potential since uh, Westbrook and Harden didn't really mesh well when they were in Houston.
Yeah,
I think Harden's play was affected when Russ went on a rampage. I think second part of the season, and I think it would be better if they can at least get to Westbrook as the sixth man, and they don't because there's just one ball for those four players, right? But in terms of just the roster construction, I think they fleeced the Clippers. The Sixers. The Clippers fleeced the Sixers
Mm-hmm.
since they got Harden, they got Tucker. Then they didn't have to trade Terrence Mann. They didn't have to trade Norman Powell, who I think are the best role players that the Sixers would have, preferred. So you still got that four All Stars plus Ivica Subac as their starting five. Then their depth, you have Plumlee, Bones, Powell, and Mann. So they are really a deep team, and the only thing that's gonna prevent them from at least reaching the Western Conference Finals was, probably injuries since, Kawhi and PG are not been durable ever since they joined together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Westbrook is durable, but
Yeah.
you know, it's tough to watch Westbrook if there's there's not much space, right? Then with Harden, you know, uh, he like the past 4 years he's been in drama field. So
Yeah.
if things don't
Yeah.
work out like a month or two, we're not gonna be surprised if he just cries again, right? Or if
Yeah.
he demands
Yeah.
something.
Or wears
So
his fat
there,
suit.
yeah, I heard there's
Yeah.
that.
His fat suit.
So, but in terms of just their roster, Tyloo, I forgot about Tyloo. Tyloo, they do have a potential to be a championship contender, but I'm leaning towards bust since I don't expect Kawhi and Paul George to be healthy. I mean,
Yeah.
it's they look healthy right now,
Right
but
now.
right, but there are like 75 games left. So we should not expect them to play all those games. So I think they could be contenders, but definitely bust potential. So
So is this the last chance for James Harden, like to be part of a legit team?
Yeah, I mean, like
yeah,
to be honest, he's been given opportunity after opportunity to uh, create and join super teams. One in Brooklyn, and then the Sixers, but nothing has been working out for him. So like if at this point he can't make this work, I feel like his value as a player, scouts and coaches, they might see him less of a player. Like yeah, sure, they're always gonna acknowledge that James Harden will be James Harden. He will always be the talented MVP caliber player that we all know, but because of his tendencies, because of him being a prima donna, like I don't think that's what teams would want on their roster.
Yeah.
So I don't see it happening anymore for Harden if this flops.
Yeah. So what about you, Juan? Is this the last? I saw your head. You were nodding in agreement with Epic a while
yeah.
ago. So does this mean this is the last for James Harden?
I think I don't want to say last chance, but I think teams would be wary of him
Mm-hmm.
with all the things that have happened since 2019, right? He's on his
Yeah,
fourth team in 5 seasons, I think, or 4 years. So that's not a good track record to
yeah,
have.
Yeah.
So it's his contract year, so he needs to show up. Like one of the reasons he hated Mori or called him a liar was he was expecting a huge contract, and I don't expect him to get a huge contract this summer because the NBA is full of talented people. Like the
yeah,
Sixers are thriving without him, right? So I think teams are still gonna be interested in him, but he's not gonna get that huge contract anymore because it's so risky. Like he's not as young as Kyrie. I think Kyrie has more potential still since he's just like 30, 31, but Harden is like 34. So that's a big difference in terms of how many years you're gonna give him. He's not Curry. Like
Yeah.
Curry can play off the ball and he's not a
yeah,
prima donna and his game is more suited for longevity.
yeah,
Harden, if he gets older, like 2, 3 years, he's not gonna be able to dribble his way to a step back or he can drive like fish for fouls.
Uh,
So I think if it doesn't work for the Clippers or and him, I think teams are gonna still be interested in him, but I doubt that they're gonna give him like 30 mil, right? You're crazy if you're gonna give Harden that kind of money, right? With all the things that have happened. So last chance, as a star, probably last chance as a star to be a
yeah.
contender. Yeah, but uh, I
yeah.
doubt he is. Yeah,
Yeah. I
I feel
agree.
like
Yeah.
uh,
Go ahead.
yeah, I feel like James Harden might emphasis on might get that Russell Westbrook treatment back in The
LA.
Lakers.
Lakers,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So that's what I see happening in the near future.
I
But
could see that happening too.
I think the difference is Russ still has that dog in him,
Yeah.
and Harden doesn't have that dog in him
Yeah,
since he quit on the last four teams that he was playing, and when the tough gets going, he just said, I'm out." Westbrook kept on playing,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
you gotta
Despite the
admire that.
criticisms.
Yeah, you gotta admire that,
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
But with
yeah.
Harden, there's nothing to admire. Like, oh, it's tough. I want out. Like, come on, man.
I think Westbrook will last a bit more than
Yeah,
James Harden, but it wouldn't be like a stark difference, like a huge lapse in between them. I think based off of how Westbrook portrays himself on the court and on the bench, I mean, I've never been in a locker room with Westbrook or Harden, but I do think he's a better locker room guy than James Harden. And yeah, this could be his last chance to be a legit star, considered to be a star in the NBA. Funny because after he was traded during his introductory press conference, he stated that he doesn't belong in a system. He is the system, and if that system means that you constantly
it's
give
good.
up,
Dribble, dribble, dribble. That's the system.
then yeah, if that's the system, the dribble system, or a system wherein you give up easily just because you don't, you get treated the wrong way. Going back to that, when you said, Juan, when you said that he wasn't offered, I'd like to correct you on that because there were rumors, not correction, but I'd like to add something to that. There were rumors regarding the Sixers offering him a 3-year, 120 million contract.
That's 40
So
mil.
yeah, I mean, 120 mil for 3 years, even
Too
if,
much.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's too much
it
for a
is.
guy like Harden, a washed up
Yeah.
guy like Harden. Um, so I think, yeah, I agree with you guys. This is probably his last legit star season, I guess. So going to the other side of the trade, the Sixers. What does this mean for the Sixers? Does this mean they have to hang on to Embiid or trade him and rebuild from the start and make a whole new process?
Um, I don't think they need to make a whole new process. Like literally, MB just won the MVP last year.
You mean
I still
stole the
think
MVP?
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, honestly, I still think Jokic was robbed. Jokic deserved it
True.
more, but like uh, what I'm trying to say is like since Embiid won the MVP award, I don't think it makes sense to let go of their MVP player just yet. Plus, they got a rising star in Tyrese Maxey. I called it a few episodes ago, and the dude has been flourishing, man.
Yeah.
So I feel like with Maxey and Embiid just gelling together, and they've been winning some games so far. I feel like they don't need to rebuild just yet, especially now that they have who's this Charlotte Hornets former star?
Ubre.
Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kelly
Yeah.
Oubre has also been brilliant for the Sixers so far. So as of right now, I'm only talking about their current state. I feel like they're okay so far.
So far, okay, that's a good call. Juan, what's your take?
I'm with Epic with this one. I think the Sixers don't need to trade Joel Embiid since I doubt there's anything a team like the Knicks can offer that makes you go, okay, I'll trade Embiid, right? Like, you think the Sixers would accept an offer like Randall, who's shooting so bad, like at 27%, which is historic. I just did a piece on that. So he sucks right now. Like, multiple picks that would probably not gonna give you a number one pick in the future. Evan Fournier's contract. So I doubt that Embiid's gonna demand a trade, and I doubt that the Sixers are gonna trade him when they don't reach a conference final this year. But they already have Maxi, who's probably a much better fit for Embiid than
Yeah.
Harden, right? Then, as Epic pointed out, Caleb Ray Jr. is balling, and I have on my fantasy team. So yeah, a great
Pretty
pickup
happy
for
about that
yeah.
one,
I'm
huh?
pretty happy. Yeah, great pickup for me. Then you still have a solid guy in Tobias Harris, who's probably gonna need to focus more on defending rather than offense now. Then I still have some doubts on their role players because they're aging, but they have a good core with Embiid and Maxi. I think they just need another star, probably. Since Ubre, I don't want to consider Ubre a star, but he's a really good player. That's probably more suited as a sixth man, right? He was that with Charlotte. Then something happened mid season, but I think the Sixers are in a good spot since there's no drama anymore. And the
Yeah.
next drama would probably be if Embiid demanded a trade, but I don't see that happening. Since they have a new coach, they don't have Harden, so they're gonna try. Hey, what if we, what if we, get to the point like this? So we just need a couple more pieces next season. So I think Philly's good right now. So
Yeah. Okay. I disagree with the both of you. I think right
All right.
now is the best time to, get rid of Embiid. I don't know how old he is, like 28, 29.
29, he's 29.
He's 29. So
Yeah.
you have to wonder how many more years does he have in himself. He's not that old, but he's entering his 30s soon,
Mhm.
and he's racked up a ton of injuries in the past. And you pointed out, Juan, that they have a young up and comer, Tyrese Maxey, and with him, I think they should just capitalize on building around him, especially now that they have a new head coach. So, and it's been rumored like for a long time about Embiid being linked to the Knicks, being traded to the Knicks potentially. So I think if the Sixers trade him now, it'll be a a good move, I guess, because you look at the roster that the Sixers have. I don't think they'll even reach the second round. I mean,
What?
they've had. Yeah,
What?
I don't believe in Embiid. He's a choker.
They're first round exit.
Yeah, they're first round exit this
Who, who,
season.
who
I
are they?
believe.
Who will eliminate them though? Who will eliminate
I don't
them?
know, maybe the Bucks or the Heat. I don't know.
They're
I'm not sure. I'm
they're
not
gonna
sure.
they're not the top 4 team. Damn.
No, I think they're going to be a lower seeded team, like seventh or sixth.
What?
Uh,
How?
Dude is
Mm.
flabbergasted right now.
I mean, look,
I don't like the Sixers, but not that much.
yeah, but it's different this time because I think Embiid flourishes with another star with him, and he doesn't have that because I mean Maxi is a rising star. He's not yet like a legit star.
Legit star. Yeah.
Yeah, you get my drift. So
I'm, I mean, I'm more concerned about the Bucks not making the top 4 rather than Sixers. So,
I think they'll find their stride coming into the season. Like we've seen the obvious struggles
but they
with
old man.
Damian
That's
Lillard and
that's my gripe with the Bucks right now. They're old, which is not good.
yeah, but you still have like decent role players around the stars. You still got Brooke Lopez. Um, yeah, but he's carried their defense better than last season because last season was great on the defensive end, right? And now I think he's performed even better
Well, I think
despite his age.
I think it would come down to the new coach. I
Of
mean,
course.
they
I
look
Yeah.
mean,
old right now since they probably haven't adjusted. But
yeah, yeah.
I think they're in trouble if after 20 games and they're hovering 500. They're not making out of the first round.
I think yeah, Adrian Griffin just has to kind of like find his groove with the team, and
It,
then because there are obvious like lapses in his game plan.
in looking at Griffin, he looks nervous when the camera
He does.
pans
He
on him,
doesn't have
right?
that head coach composure
Yeah,
compared to the others. Yeah.
which scares me for the Bucks. So, but
Yeah.
for the Sixers, I think they have an advantage since Nick Nurse will
This is tried
scream.
and tested. Yeah,
Yeah,
tried
he
and
will
tested.
scream, all right.
I
So
believe in
he's
Nick Nurse.
yeah.
I don't believe in the rest of the Sixers organization, with the exception of Tyrese Maxey, of course.
I,
So
I think uh, I don't know if Mori can pull it off since he's gonna demand a lot, bro. He's gonna demand a lot for Embiid.
yeah, he will. It's reasonable to demand a lot from the reigning MVP,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of
You
course.
cried about not being the MVP for 2 seasons. Now you got an
Oh, you got
MVP.
it.
You showed the
Yeah.
playoffs. Now you have to live up to the expectations of being the best player in the league, right?
He's
You have
done
to
though.
follow it up. But I don't think he'll be able to do that this season, given how people have realized, oh, we made a mistake in not giving it to or awarding
Jokic.
it to Jokic for
Yeah.
a third time in a row. So that's that's what I think. So let's go back to the Clippers because I forgot to ask one crucial question. How far do you think the Clippers will go this season?
Oh,
Because I have them going same thing with the Sixers, first round exit.
First round exit.
Yeah.
Uh,
wait. Hmm. Yeah, Epic
um,
can answer. I'll answer later.
all right. I guess I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Definitely not the conference finals, but I feel like they could make second round if everyone's healthy.
Hmm.
If everyone's healthy, if James Harden doesn't be James Harden, you know what I mean?
He
Like off the
doesn't beat a
court.
system.
Yeah, if it doesn't be the system, I feel like the Clippers could make a second round appearance and then get eliminated by the Lakers. Let's go. I'm kidding.
So which one is the lower seeded team in your theory? The Lakers or the Clippers?
Ooh.
He's not sure.
No, okay, no, I gotta be real though. I gotta be real though.
So you have to think about the rankings, like where they
Yeah, yeah,
finish,
yeah.
right?
I gotta be real though. With the way the Lakers have been playing recently, like I
I mean,
know
they've played decently, I
they've
guess.
been playing decently compared to last season's start, but I think there's still a lot of chemistry gelling that they have to work on. So if they don't, if they don't flatten the iron as much, if like these problems will continue to become an occurrence later down in the season, they'll probably rank lower. But I can still see a playoff run happening for the Lakers.
That's good. Juan.
Seeing the Western Conference right now, I think Nuggets will be top team.
Okay.
For sure, man.
Right, that's for sure. I think
For
I think
sure,
that's
man.
that's I think the sure thing.
Yeah,
So man, the West is loaded, man.
it is.
Like I think the only two teams that's not sure, or three teams that's not sure gonna make the playoffs. Probably the Rockets, Jazz, and the not Grizzlies, but the
Yeah.
Trailblazers. Because I think the
Yeah.
Grizzlies are gonna be better when Morant
I mean,
returns.
yeah, but they still won't have Steven Adams, who's like a big
Well,
factor, and
Oh yeah,
Brandon
he's
Clark.
out for the entire season, right?
Yeah.
Steven Adams, was out from January to
Yeah,
April.
but he
So
like
probably
got
the
another
playoffs.
injury, right?
Probably the playoffs would
Oh yeah.
it would matter, but regular season, I think they can get by. But
Mm-hmm.
man, the West is
West
deep. We
is
got the
loaded.
Pelicans, man, Timberwolves, the Thunder, the Spurs, even the Spurs, man.
Yeah.
You still have the Suns that if they get their shit together, right? They can still wow. And you have my Warriors. So worst case scenario for the Clippers is a first round exit, right? Since I don't know if the problem with them last season was injuries, and that cost them at least a top four finish. If they're if I think that if they stay relatively healthy, not 100% because that's impossible. Like relatively healthy, I mean it's impossible for the Clippers. Relatively healthy for the Clippers, I think they can finish in the top four or at least get 5 and
5-6. That's what I'm
five
seeing.
six, right? So they have a chance at getting the second round. I don't know if they have enough to get past the second round, but it's gonna be a battle for the West, man.
Yeah.
It's so loaded. It's tough to predict. Even the Lakers is tough to predict, right? Like uh, LeBron James and Anthony Davis playing these minutes is
Yeah.
so unsustainable that your Lakers are gonna be in trouble if they kept that going until
Oh
you know
yeah.
it's so unsustainable right now. They need to figure out that quick.
Yeah, man. Darvin Ham really needs to figure out the perfect rotations at this point because, like, they can't keep on relying on LeBron anymore. Like,
Are you a
I
big
feel bad for the guy, man.
yeah?
He was promised 25 to 29 minutes a game. He's still playing 34, 37. What gives?
Like a day after promising that, so
Right?
LeBron, can you play more? Like no,
They can't do it without LeBron, man.
yeah,
So you gotta appreciate him for that. But still, they need to work on their chemistry, man, without
yeah,
LeBron.
Yeah.
yeah.
Epic. I have a question, Laker question for you. Are you a fan of Cam Reddish having more minutes than Max Christie and or Rui Hachimura?
Oh, well, if we're gonna talk about Rui Hachimura, no, I am not a fan of that. Rui Hachimura, in my opinion, still deserves more minutes. I feel like he's just off to a slow start, just like
Yeah.
AR. AR was off to a slow start, but
Oh,
he's kind of finding his rhythm right now. Like
I mean, he is actually him. So
yeah, he's Timothy, man. So you can't deny that. But yeah, Hachimura, man, I feel like he got robbed of some minutes. He just needs a little bit more playing time to get there, to find that stroke once again. Max Christie,
he
I mean,
played good in the
yeah,
preseason.
yeah.
he did, and I think the boy really earned his minutes too, in my opinion. Cam Reddish, all right, I gotta agree with Juan. All right, fine. So for those of you who are watching this right now, Juan and I got into a little argument about Cam Reddish. I told him that he was a very what do you call this? He's a hardworking guy. He's
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah
Did he prove you wrong?
yeah, he kind of proved me wrong. I was like, yeah, you know what? Fuck this guy, man. I don't feel like he deserves the minutes, man. Especially Gabe Vincent. I don't want him on the team, man, at all.
There's something about that he culture, you know,
yeah.
unlocks something in a player, and then when they move on, it's like, oh, I forget
I,
about things.
I got paid. I don't have to do anything.
So yeah, yeah, that's mostly it. I feel like Cam Reddish should get fewer minutes at this point,
Yeah.
and I want to see more from Hachimura, man. I feel bad for the guy, really.
And
We
they signed
should.
him to an extension as well, right?
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
they
they
did
did. They
over the
did.
summer.
like, why won't you play him? You just paid him a lot.
Oh, I
Oh,
mean,
I think it's more of like Ham trying to like I said, trying to figure
Tried
out the
things,
rotation. Yeah,
but
he's just experimenting at this
but
point.
but
But
he should have experimented in the preseason, right?
in the breeze,
yeah,
exactly. But
that should
I
have
don't
been
know what's
like,
going on.
uh,
Yeah,
yeah. Anyway, we've discussed about the Clippers, Sixers, a touch on the Lakers as well. So now with the emergence of stars or players who have been performing uh, up to their standards, so this brings us to the question of which players would be selected in their first All Star this season.
Wemby.
I
Okay,
knew it.
since you've
He's
started,
overhyped, man.
Juan, since you've started, I think it's better for us to like each give one player, and so that we don't have to repeat.
Yeah,
Probably thinking of the same reasons anyway. So Juan, since you've brought up the Frenchman, the 7'4" Frenchman,
the French
go ahead,
man.
discuss why you think he's going to be a first-time All-Star in his rookie season.
Because everyone is in awe, so they're gonna vote for him. The fans are gonna vote for him. If the Spurs are probably in a 500 record or at least fighting for a playoff at a top 8 or at least a top 10, right? Play in. I think the coaches are gonna vote him because his impact on defense is so felt every game.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. and he's putting up insane performances in terms of first things on the court. Like I don't get why Shaq compares him to Bobo. Like Bobo has highlights, but those are
Yeah,
just
but that's
highlights.
reaching. That's
Yeah,
reaching.
but man, he's man. I've never been this at awe with a player, which is crazy.
Stop
He's
glazing, but yeah,
yeah,
proceed.
he's just so out of this world. Like what did what did like OG said? I forgot.
He's way too
You,
tall.
yeah, he's way too tall, right?
That's what he said. After he was blocked, like he didn't even jump when he blocked
Yeah,
OG's shot.
yeah. I think that all factor, the media coverage, the hype, just
It's worth it.
he's probably gonna get in because of that. And secondary is the performance, but based on the 38 point outburst, he's gonna go in half of the popularity and half of what he's doing in the court, and I just hope he stays healthy. So my hot take is still very much alive. So
Oh
All
my
right.
god.
Juan or no, Epic. I'm sorry, Epic. Who you have? Who do you have for like a first time All Star?
Uh, well, I initially wanted to say Tyrese Maxey, but I think it's already too obvious, in my opinion, at least. So I'll go with Paolo Banchero
Ooh,
instead.
he was my choice, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
So
that's
yeah,
okay.
I mean, like, to be honest with you, Paulo Banchero has been brilliant for the Orlando Magic. They're currently fourth. They're ranking fourth in the East. He's been carrying the Orlando Magic, and I think it has a lot to do with his experience in the World Cup. He was the rookie. He was the youngest player, so he was able to like get coaching experience from like Steve Kerr, and like I kind of see a lot more maturity in his game right now. And ever since he started playing with the much bigger stars during the World Cup, I kind of see it translating now here in the regular season. So I feel like if Bankero continues to play the way he's been playing as of late. Because, like, in my opinion, he had a very slow start in the first 2-3 games, but I kind of see a lot of star potential right now as of the previous 2 games. So if he could continue to do that in the games to come, I feel like he would get that first All Star nod.
That's a good reasoning. I do like Bankero's game so far this season. He's been more aggressive and he's taking smarter shots offensively,
Exactly.
right? So um, if he keeps it up, uh, there's no reason for the fans and or the coaches to leave him out of the All Star game this season. So for me, I think it's hard for me to choose because there's been a lot of great players so far. But I'll go with a wild card choice.
Okay.
It's Zaza Pachulia. Not just kidding. Not Zaza.
Fuck that
He's
guy.
retired. I got Alperen Sengun from the
Oh,
Rockets. Sengun has been one of
he's
my favorite players actually
mini
since his rookie.
Jokic,
Yeah, it's a mini
mini
Jokic.
Jokic man.
mini
He's like
Jokic.
Charmander, and then Charmeleon is Sabonis, and then Charizard is Jokic.
Jokic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am a believer of great post up bigs, and also like passing bigs. That's why Jokic is fun to watch. Sabonis has been fun to watch for me, and Shingun as well. Although he hasn't been putting up insane stats like Jokic and Sabonis so far in his young career, but he's been averaging what 18, 18, 8, and 6, 40% from three, which is a huge improvement from last season, which was like 28% from the three. I do think that the addition of Fred Van Vliet kind of like would kind of hinder his development because of course Van Vliet is a star and he'll demand the ball all the time. So the offense can't be centered around Shingun. But once he finds his stride and the Rockets see his potential, that we should use him more on the offensive end rather than letting Van Vliet or the other perimeter players execute the plays. I think it will unlock a whole new dynamic for Shingun and the Rockets for this season. So yeah, Shingun, he's great, man. He looks like a Twitch streamer for me, but he's been a great player. I don't know why I said he looks like a Twitch streamer, but he does. Yeah, he does. Um,
Well,
okay.
how would you describe a Twitch streamer,
Yeah.
man?
I don't know. He looks like Aiden Ross,
Oh, okay.
right?
Okay.
He
Yeah. Yeah.
slightly.
Yeah.
But anyway, we have time. Fortunately, we have time. So we did talk about potentially having
Hey,
a segment.
can I get more names first as first time All Stars? Give a
Okay,
shout out.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Honorable
Yeah. Yeah.
mentions.
So probably honorable mentions Jamal Murray.
Yeah,
Let's
Yeah.
have talk about
yeah,
Jamal
Yeah.
Murray.
Definitely.
So another one
Jordan
probably
Poole.
no.
Okay.
Probably I'm gonna give a shout out to Tyler Hero. I mean, I
Oh,
thought that Poole
yeah,
was much better than Hero, but this season, man, Hero's cooking, man. So
yeah.
I think he has a chance to be an All Star as well. Uh, Looking at the East, Scotty Barnes, another one. Scotty
Scotty Barnes.
Barnes is playing magnificent,
Mm,
and probably not on the Pistons. No, Brunson probably. Yeah,
yeah, Brunson
that's
should
Brunson.
be.
Yeah, I
Brunson
see Brunson
probably.
In
happening.
an All-Star
Yeah,
ranking
yeah.
even.
So for the West, I think there's no more for the West, right?
Yeah, the
Since
West is stacked.
so stacked, like Fox has been an All Star. Shy has
Fox
been
has
an
been
All Star.
great.
So
I'm sorry, what
there's
was
no
that,
more
Epic?
like potential first time All Stars. So
Okay.
those guys, I mean, probably at least give a shout out to them that they're gonna be an All Star, or
Yes,
at
shout out
least
to
to
them.
think that they're gonna be an All Star. So
Potential, potential.
Potential.
Anyways, guys, episode 12. It's been a blast having you guys back after 2 weeks without an episode.
yes,
Finally, great to talk about basketball and the NBA in general. So make sure to subscribe here on YouTube and follow us on Spotify, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, basically everywhere.
Everywhere.
I'm thinking about putting LinkedIn profile for the Jersey Shorts podcast, but it doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
So
It
anyway,
doesn't
it
make it.
doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna pass up on that. But anyways, our socials are in the description below. So make sure to follow us and comment or share your thoughts and or give us advice. Let us know what you guys want to see us talk about here in the next episode of the Jersey Shorts podcast season 2. See y'all on the next one. Peace.